Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of Shingeki no Kyojin, or you could call it Attack on Titan, which is on chapter 131. This chapter right here looks like to me, it makes me want to really change that Eren's not really exactly a Mad Titan, but I still want to call him a Mad Titan because I think it's still fitting that way, and he's still going to go along with it and everything all together. Although, like, many people would disagree with me, and I can understand that, but if anything else, let's just get this recap started. The recap opens up with two young males having to look at some kind of haul that they're digging right now, and it looks like to me it's a bag full of money. And we have to it that they end up having to talk to each other while the sibling ask them, if we keep stealing like this, they're going to get your left hand too. And we get to see a scene, and we get to see a young boy who is missing his right hand, very sadly, since I guess it's the punishment for him stealing and he got a nasty upcoming, And we have to it that the boy tells his sibling going like, yeah, but somebody has to do it so we can leave that worn out tent. Not everybody makes it through winter, and you know what? People die every year, and I'm sick and tired of it, and I don't want that anymore. That's why, Halil, if I die, please give this money to everybody. But we have to it that they end up realizing something is happening right now, and realizes that that the two siblings realizes there's a bunch of earthquakes happening, and they see a bunch of objects running towards them or walking towards them, and we see a lot of crows flying around, and we see a narration that says, I don't know how long it'll take, but someday these people, I will massacre them all. And we see a backstory flashback of Eren himself, realizing that before long I'll kill them, Right before it's decided in the future, Paradise Island didn't find a way to survive. Anything and everything will all be lost. Dreams, animals, houses, lives, and people, And Eren ends up seeing a couple having to get ready for a next moment of their life, because they're about to give birth to a baby, But we also see to it that Eren is thinking in his mind like, Mom, what would she think? Are the ones who must die us Eldian people, just like how the King of the Walls chose the path of suicide? At the very least, the number of people between the island and the outside that would die a huge difference. It's the truth that if the Eldian people were to be completely extinct, the problem of the Titans will be gone. But Eren cannot accept that outcome, Eren will later on see a young boy, which I believe is the same boy at the beginning of this chapter that was shown, that's getting beaten up, and says he saw him in his future memory and he should probably help him. And of course there are some strangers that tells the guy, hey, this kid's a refugee from another country that's a repeated pickpocket offender, Yeah, this guy's nothing more than pest control. Get lost. This has nothing to do with you. Eventually we have to it that Eren would try to ignore the kid, but he will later on says, what am I thinking? Even though I'll kill that boy someday, there are no limits to violence I'll be committing from here on. There are no excuses for my pretended justice, Eventually Eren would save that boy, and the boy will later on thank him, etc. And we have to it that that Eren thinks himself as a piece of filth, Eventually, the boy that Eren saved tells him, I'm so sorry, okay? And this flashback, the boy says, why are you crying? Like, what's up? What the boy does not really realize, is that what Eren's going to do is something that's going to be very despicable, and he will never be forgiven for it, And we have to it that goes back in present time where the sibling Ramzi and then the other one else says, oh, we got to get the hell out of here, we got to hurry up, And we have to it that the colossal titans are continuing, destroying, rampaging everything to hell, And everybody's like, oh, we gotta get the hell out of here. Run, 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 But unfortunately for them, there are titans that are up in the mountains as well, so they don't really know where to go and where to run to. But we have to it that, the sibling asks his brother, hey, are we gonna get crushed? He says, no way, you can't give up yet. And we have to it that, that Eren continues his narration like for the sake of the island, the Eldians. No, it wasn't just that. And we see to it that the money gets dropped by a sibling and realizes that he tries to save it, but unfortunately because they tried to save it and they tried to run, they all got crushed. Both of those young siblings got crushed. And it's really, exhausting for me. And Eren continuing his narration like what was really beyond the walls, it was different from what I was dreamed of, etc. Eventually, from the world I saw in Armin's book, it was different. When I learned that humanity lived outside the walls, I was disappointed, Eventually, it'll play the scene where the siblings both got crushed to death. All their things is over, As Eren continues, I wish for everything to somehow disappear. I'm so sorry, and etc. Eventually, there would be a silhouette hallucination that looks like Ymir possibly, and the boy would get crushed to death. It says, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Everyone else who sees the Colossal Titan crushing everyone else, they can only scream in despair as they all get trampled on very badly. Eren continues his narration saying, ever since I was born in front of my eyes, there's always been a depressing wall. Burning water, land made of ice, snowy plains of sand. The outside world is so much wider than what's inside these walls. Those who have seen it must be in all the world. The most free, this is freedom. As we see a young kid Eren flying, but we see to it another scene where everyone's getting crushed to death by the colossal titans, and I've reached it. This scenery. Hey, Armin, and we see to it we go into a path again, and young Eren sees an older Armin, and Eren wakes up, and Armin talks to Annie and says, hey, have your wounds healed up already? He says, oh, hey, Annie. Yeah, since there was time, unbelievably, being able to pass it so carefully. I didn't think that could be the case here and there. And Annie offers Armin to sit next to her and says, I just thought I hadn't thanked you yet. All those years for you talking to me, I thank you for it. And Armin doesn't know what to say, and Annie's like, I thought I'd go crazy from the loneliness. Talking to you and Hitch was the only thing I looked forward to, And Annie asks Armin, why? Why would you choose a rock of all things for a conversation partner? Wasn't there someone brighter and more better than me? And Armin's like, well, it was because I wanted to see you, Annie. And of course, Armin was blushing a bit, and Annie's like, why me? And Armin's like, what? You really don't understand? Even though Hitch teases me that much? And Annie's at the same time blushed down and says, I don't. And Annie therefore asks Armin a question like, really? What are we doing exactly, huh? Right now, thousands, millions of people are being crushed by Eren right now. Just what are we doing, huh? And we have to it that Annie talks to Armin and says, I get it. Since you're a good person, you even talk to an enemy like me. The same reason you won't give up on talking to Eren. When are you going to realize keeping company with a monster like me too, huh? You're just running away from conflict, aren't you? Of course, Annie was trying to walk away, but Armin stopped her and said, sit down. And I said this before, but I hate being called a good person after all this has happened. I've killed many people, from soldiers, people, children, betraying everybody. I grew up with the island, killing my comrades. I became a monster a long time ago. Somewhere in my head one day, the promise I made with Eren to go on a journey into the unknown world, I thought we'd make that come true, And Annie's like, the unknown world, huh? It wasn't that great of a thing after all, wasn't it? He says, yeah, it was a different from the world we saw in our dreams, but still, that which we don't know must definitely be out there beyond the worlds. That's what I want to believe. And the chapter ends up with Eren's face, He looks like he's really in psychological distress and doesn't look like he wants to continue this, but he's doing it anyway. So, overall, in the chapter that I'm recapping to you guys right now is that the rumbling still continues, and we get to see an inside mental or psychological perspective of Eren, despite the fact that what he's doing, what he thinks is the best thing to do is to destroy all the hate by sending it all to hell, he does feel very, very remorseful. He does feel very remorseful about it. Although that doesn't change the fact that he's still doing it. Whether he's following the future or something else altogether, he made his choice, you know. Despite the Mad Titan's actions and decisions that he made and decided to go along with it, he still has some sadness and sorrow in it. Just like how the other Mad Titan is. Like I said, I know calling Eren the Mad Titan might be a little extreme, but I don't know what else to say. The guy made his choice, and he has Titan powers, and he's already starting to kill everybody. He's gonna send like millions, and he's doing genocide no matter what, and he's planning to kill everybody. That's it. I mean, there's no way to stop the guy, and I don't know. But one thing for sure is that Armin ends up having a talk with Annie about a lot of things, and and it looks like Annie and Armin might have a thing going on eventually. Although, like it could be unlikely. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, Armin and Annie have a little talk, and eventually the chapter ends up with Eren still in his Titan form, but we see his humane face in nasty psychological distress. That's all I can really say. So, despite what Eren is doing, he does feel very remorseful about it when there was a backstory of him saving a young boy, that kind of thing. But, the guy made his decision and choice, and I don't know what's really bound to happen in the next chapter. I wouldn't be surprised if the rumbling still continues and everyone gets crushed to death too many times and all of it goes to hell. So, I don't know what's really bound to happen next for everyone else, but it's not really looking good for everyone in general. I mean, it's really, really bad. Very bad. So, I hope things do get... Well, I don't know if things will get better. I don't even know why I'm hoping right now, because what Eren's doing and what he's continuing on, despite the fact that he's feeling remorseful for it, but he's still doing it. I don't know how anyone else is going to stop him. I mean, Armin and Mikasa, they might try to get through to the guy, but when the situation comes at hand, is Eren really going to be killed? Or is there a way to even stop him at all? I mean, this guy's already a freaking god. Well, I guess god's a little extreme, but he's pretty much above everyone else, controlling the Colossal Titans and going like, go ahead, smash everyone to hell, splat, splat, splat. So, despite the Mad Titan's choice, he does feel very remorseful for it, but he's still doing it anyway. So, until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zitto. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.